No, like when I first started, I could barely get up the hucks, and was severely overweight. So yeah, you can start from anywhere you want and finish or carry on to where you want to get to. So
Nice. Now, because you mentioned that, and we'll give them a little bit more insight, can you remember what your starting weight was and how long it took you to get up the hucks?
when I first started, I was at about 140 and taking over an hour and a half to.
Was it a sense of relief or a sense of accomplishment when you got to the top?
Oh, the first time I did it, it's when we went for a walk and it's like, oh, this is a nice flat track. I don't know why everyone says it's so hard until you get to the steps about a K in, and then, yeah, it got considerably harder and my legs knew about it by the time we got to the top.
Okay, now you've actually done really well with kind of segueing to the next bit, which is, look, for someone who's completely new to the gym or completely new to exercise, how should they approach their first 2 weeks?
Just, I guess, do a little bit and do what you can rather than trying to go full noise right from the start and trying to keep up with everyone else. Just, yeah, like when I first started, it was once a week I went for a walk up the Hucks. That's all it was. And yeah, you can start once a week, twice, whatever you can fit in and your body can cope with, until it slowly improves, and then keep changing.
Thank you. Really good insight. I think quite a few people trip themselves up because they think initially the harder and faster they go, the quicker they'll get the results, but it definitely doesn't play out that way, correct?
No, I found that it's easier to make more small changes than trying to, yeah, like if I went from what I was doing to what I'm doing now, it would have killed me and probably put me off right on the first week, and you wouldn't have seen me on the second week. So yeah, I guess it's about and it's also what you can fit into your lifestyle. Like changing things doesn't happen overnight, but if you make multiple small changes, it's easier to fit into what you're doing than changing everything overnight and trying to flick a light switch and make it.
Just here with Blair. This will be take 2, and we're super dedicated. Today is the 23rd of November. We're based in Hamilton, and last night was super stormy.
Oh yeah, severe weather warning. That's the one.
But yeah, just a bit of insight. So Blair's lost 30 kilos, kept it off, so we're just going to find out a little bit more about him. And then he's currently also doing his personal training studies as well. Super prepped on this end, so we've actually got the questions there, and I'll just chat you through them now. Yep. So, Blair, if you can just talk us through, and remember, this is just us doing our right thing, camera's there looking just above it. If you can just talk us through when you were at your most unhealthy, so key points that we need, are these ones here. So I just want to know a bit about weight, energy levels, so scale of 1 to 10, 10 the Energizer Bunny, energy all the time. Clothing size, body shape, health concerns, what you were eating or drinking on a regular basis back when you were that size. Were you exercising, and how did you feel about yourself?
Oh boy. At my most unhealthy, probably in the lead up to, and I always say October 2017 is like the key. I was with a friend in Wellington. We stayed at a hostel. The hostel gave us access to a gym membership while we were there. I had been working through the NHS's Couch to 5K podcast, which again I definitely recommend. I've actually just had a friend who I put it onto who's just finished the end of week 9, and it's such a big deal. It's really cool. I was going through week 4, which is like, you run for 3 minutes, and then you walk for 90 seconds, you run for 5, And I was feeling pretty good about myself. And I was like, yeah, I've just finished my run and I'll hop on the scales. And I hopped on the scales for the first time in what must have been years. And I was genuinely stunned by the number. Like, I've always been a pretty solid guy. I'm about, 1.85 meters tall, reasonably sort of wide frame. And so I guess when you're sort of at that size, you don't really sort of think about it too much. I remember, breaking 80 something kilos in fifth form when I was about 15 or something like that. And so I kind of knew that as an adult, I was going to be sitting around, 100 kilos thereabouts. And I never really interrogated that too much. And so I hop on the gym, on the scales at the gym in October 2017, and it's 125 kilos. And I was just shocked. It had never occurred to me that I was, 25% heavier than I thought it was going to be. And I think at the time that was a huge deal. Like, as I've sort of progressed through that fitness journey, I think the numbers attached to those have become significant to me than the way I feel. But I also know that initial number is like the starting point for a lot of people. It was definitely the starting point for me. So it was 125 kilos. I had more X's in my clothing than in my dating resume. I think
Can you remember what your actual clothing
I
size
would
was?
have been at least 2XL, 3XL.
Okay, yeah.
Now I'll wear an XL for a baggy fit.
Yeah.
And again, it's sort of tight in the right places around the sort of shoulders and upper arm, and then everything else it kind of just drapes. I was goodness. Let's see. I probably had a waist measurement of 104 centimeters, I think. And after sort of going through the journey, I remember buying my first pair of pants. And I went into, it was like Barker's in Auckland or something like that. And I was buying this pair of pants, and I ended up having to get measured, and I was down to like 88 centimeters. And I was sitting there thinking like, oh, no wonder all of my pants don't fit, and they sort of bunch up and whatnot. And it was because I was still wearing pants that were like nearly 20 centimeters too big around, which is huge. And so it's just.
Just as far as the absolute start point goes, if you can remember where you were initially, so we're talking initial body weight, fitness, confidence, paint a picture as many details as possible.
I suppose a picture, which to be honest is a little bit embarrassing. I had a few health issues. I got sat down by my Crohn's specialist, who told me that if I didn't sort things out, give it 5 or 6 years, I would probably be in the ground. I was looking at diabetes, fatty liver disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, you name it, that's pretty much where I was going. I was pretty much 160 kgs, way too big for someone of my size, but unfortunately that's where I was. I'd gone from being a very fit and healthy person back when I was building to moving into an office job and not changing my eating habits.
Yeah.
And probably the further away it got from being on the tools, I just got lazier and lazier at the end of the day. So it wasn't things were getting harder for a long time.
Yeah.
And I waited until
So you're a very popular man. Yeah, go for it.
I waited until, not waited, I got confronted with it at the hospital, and I left it way too late. And it's not until now, I think, that I've been sticking to it as long as I have, and built up some more muscle and everything as well, that it's a lot easier. And I'd say to myself, or anyone, the gym sucks, man. Honestly.
Yeah.
When you're that age, when you're that way, it sucks.
Yeah.
The thought of going to the gym sucks. And I never thought I'd be someone that would be having probably a bad day at work and go, it's right, man. 5 o'clock this afternoon, you get to the gym, man, you smash it out. And every time I leave the gym, I leave with a smile.
Yeah.
And that would be something that I never thought I would do. That would be something that I would be saying to someone that if you stick at it long enough, you do actually really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It is. I have a good time with the exercises, and then with the people here as well. You know, it's just, and I never thought I'd be that person.
You and Zach yesterday, that was like such a good boxing session. Like, it was absolutely incredible to watch. Absolutely. Yeah.
Even though there were no legs involved, mate.
Yeah.
I went and picked my daughter up from netball, and there's bleachers that you walk up.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was hard to get up those afterwards. Eh?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, transformation wise for you, Martin, from where you started to where it is now, just absolute leaps and bounds. And I think one of the things that sometimes gets forgotten maybe a little bit, there's a lot of people out there currently 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, over 200. Like, it's, as Martin said, like, perfect world, we would have started at like 120 or something. Life would have been very, very easy when we were nice and quick. Yeah, it would have been very easy. But it doesn't always happen. So I think one of the biggest things to remember is, like, when that motivation peak arrives for you, like it did for yourself, that hard chat with the health professionals, make full use of it. Like, completely. Like, when we run the ads, like, we never know when someone's motivation peak's going to be, other than that they respond to the ad. Yeah. And I've had some people where they've only been maybe 20, 30 kilos overweight. They're miserable. Had coffee dates with them across a year, but kind of chatted about it, but I could never bring it up in conversation. Because it's when they want it. It's,
you can lead a you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, one of the ones that I want to chat through from the outset, I know for yourself, is the injury side of things. If you can go right back to what happened, how severe the injury was, I guess the first bit of rehab as well, and then if you can also chat through where we've got to, or where you've got to now, which is pretty incredible.
So, my name is Anand, and I was in fairly good fit condition till about 2009, and I had a very bad car accident where a log fell off a logging truck and crushed my car, and I ended up in Waikato Hospital for good 6 months and had multiple fracture on my right femur, a lot of head and chest injuries, and my left leg was lower left leg was severely damaged as well. I needed close to 20 plus surgeries over 3 years and spent good part of 3 years on crutches and wheelchairs.
Wow.
And being like I used to weigh before accident 65 plus, about 69, 70 something. But with that longer, just staying on bed and medication, my weight jumped to like 110, 115 kilos, and I'm still like weighing about like 111, but that time 115 was about that big. So sometime like you will find people like who are 110 kilos, but they will look fit, and some people like they will look like balloon. So funny way the body behaves. But during the injury, it doesn't only affect your body, it affects your mental well-being as well. You get damaged not only physically, emotionally as well. And having good support, that is your family, your friends, and doctor in New Zealand, ACC as well, and a good physio, that helps a lot, and a good employer, that helps a lot. And it took me a long time to go through rehab. What was provided from the guys from ACC, that was good. At least it got me moving, and after spending 3.5 years on a wheelchair, I literally had to learn how to walk again.
Wow.
and it's easier said than done because learning to walk, you're literally learning a new exercise altogether, because having your legs move front and forward, it looks easy, but when you have to learn that pattern again, it's difficult. Like sometimes my both legs were moving same time. So it was quite a difficult and during that time I got type 2 diabetes as well because of sudden increase in weight, and that's when the challenge started of keeping myself fit. Earlier it was like, yeah, if I can go to the gym I'll be fit, but once the diabetes set in and it slowly started getting bad to worse, and then GPs literally told me if I don't control, if I don't do anything, it will, like, you will have serious health issues because of your medical history.
So my start point was early 2018. I was pushing towards the 100 kilos, which I'm 5'10" in height, so that's a little bit not massively overweight, but reasonably overweight still. I was actually still doing the Hakramatas and stuff every now and then, so a little bit of fitness, but I was sitting at the doctor's. Size-wise, I was about a size 38, pushing 40 pants and stuff, XL t-shirts and stuff like that. Went to the doctor's just for a random checkup and blood test for not feeling too well, and it actually came back with a borderline fatty liver. And he basically said I had to change, because he asked me if I drink a lot, and I didn't actually drink a lot of alcohol at that stage. But I had drank a lot of sugary drinks and fruit juices and stuff, and I was pretty much eating KFC and McDonald's daily. It doesn't help that work's situated between the two restaurants on Grey Street, so it was just an easy lunch for me, and I was just generally very unhealthy at that stage. Something had to change, and the gym kind of started it. I got it down to probably about 78, 79 kilos.
Wow, 20 kilos.
So overall, that was probably the start of this, end of last year, start of this year. I was down to size 32.
Well done.
Yeah,
that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
It makes you realise, like I said, I've tried other gyms before, but when I come in here, it's a different vibe. When you spoke to me about Phil, over the phone, and I actually came that morning and I met him face to face, I was like, shit, I actually had a good talk with him, and he was like, it's taking him time to do it, but I was like, well, if you can do it, why can't I? And then he was actually pushing me through that first class.
Yeah.
And he was encouraging. It's like, shit, you don't get this in other places, where everyone, it's like a family when you walk in.
Yeah.
It's not like, you walk in the door and like, shit. Like I said, it's going to be a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
But then you walk out and it's like, I've done it. You're a bit sore the next day or a couple of days, but it's a good sore. It's not as if like you're crippled. It's like, I haven't used those muscles in a while. The first one I walked in, I was ready to walk out.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I can't do this. So I just looked around and I was like, but then that's when I saw Phil and I was like, shit, hang on, look at him. Like, nobody's going to care. I was looking at up there on the wall and I go, look. And he's like, it is doable, and then that's what, I came to first class and I was sore, like I could barely walk the next day.
Yeah.
But then the second time I came here, I was like, you know what, I'm enjoying this. I actually enjoy coming. I finished work and I'm hyped to come to the gym.
Hey, I hope that video was able to help you, and remember, feel free to share it to anyone that may get some assistance from it. At the very end of this video, I will have a link. That is my coach's call link. So if you want to chat further about what we've talked about today, or if you do have a health and fitness goal in mind, very welcome to make use of that. It's a completely free link. We can either do that over the phone or down at the gym in person.